I speak the truth when I step in a room. Don't need an excuse. Know how I do, yeah. I be dropping gems, gem dropping gems, gem dropping. I speak the truth when I step in a room. Don't need an excuse. Know how I do, yeah. I be dropping gems, gem dropping gems, gem dropping with Caleb and Delon.
All right, welcome to the Gemdropn podcast, where it's our opinion, our platform, and your problem, but you're going to get this truth.
Yes, sir.
Today, we have a very, very special guest. We got the Top Gun in the house, Miss Teiona Gunn.
Yeah, the
I don't know
Top
about
Gun.
Top Gun.
Top
The
Gun. Now you heard the man.
I don't know about Top Gun.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, I am so we'll start off like this. First of all, I'm a huge fan.
Thank you.
I got a chance to see some of your stuff online when we first initially met, you know, a couple of years back. But for all of you out there that don't know it, Teiona is the author and the writer of our jingle for the intro to the podcast.
I be dropping gems.
I be dropping gems, you know. So I wanted to dive into that as well and see what your inspiration behind music is and things of that nature. But I wanted to start with the origin.
Sure.
You know, who is Teiona? Where is she from?
Yeah.
What makes Teiona tick? What gives her that creativity? So first off, so where are you from?
So I'm originally from Kansas City,
Kansas City stand
Missouri. I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri, and I did
Okay.
a lot of moving around as a
Okay.
kid. So I spent maybe, I want to say 11 years here, and
Okay.
then we moved to St. Louis for about 2 years.
Mhm.
And then when I was 13, we came back here, and then we moved to Atlanta.
Okay.
And I've been there ever since.
Okay, and so, and please forgive me. So, Teiona is a very talented songwriter, musician,
Thank you.
and you know she's got an opportunity to travel the world and do her music. So we'll have all her information in the bottom of the screen so you guys can check her out. But I wanted to introduce her properly. But you say you're from
Thank you.
Kansas City, Missouri.
Yes,
Okay.
Kansas City, Missouri.
All right, born and raised Kansas City, Missouri. Okay, so that's cool. So as a kid, where does the inspiration for your music come from? What got you into music in the first place?
Yeah. So I feel like I was born into it. My
Okay.
brother did music growing up, and that's all I saw. So we didn't have like a lot of music playing in the house, at least that I don't remember. The only music that I ever heard was like my brother or the record label that my mom had back then. They were playing like their music. And I just had like I don't know, like a pull to want to do it too.
Okay.
And so I would tell my mom all the time, like, I want to do something. Can I do something? And she was like, oh, when you get older, we'll do something. And I thought that it was originally dancing that I wanted to do. So I
Okay.
started out dancing. And then as I continued to watch my brother, my sisters used to do background
Okay.
dancing for him. And so I would watch them. I would learn the routines. I would learn his rap, everything from top to bottom. I knew it. And so whenever he would go out to perform, they would do video recordings. And when they watched it back, my brother's producer watched it back, and he was like, who's that rapping in the background? And my mom was like, oh, that's Teiona. And he was like, I want to work with her. Like, I want to sign her. And she didn't really take it too serious till she brought it to me. And she was like, is that what you want to do? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to do. And we had like a whole little 2-minute, 3-minute conversation about it. And she was like, okay. And that's where it came from. That's how we started.
So you also rap. So you sing and rap?
Yes, I started out rapping, and then as I grew older, my love for like singing and R&B and my voice started to develop a little more as I grew older. But it didn't start out that way.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
dope. So we got a Lauryn Hill in the making over here. One of my favorite artists of all time.
Mine
by the
too.
way. Yeah. So do you have a favorite musical artist that draws inspiration?
I have a
from
few.
you? Okay.
So Lauren is on my list.
Okay.
And I love them for different reasons. So I love her lyrical ability. I love that she literally creates her music from her hands. So I love
explain
about
that.
her.
Oh,
Yeah,
explain
yeah.
that. Yeah. Wait,
She uses
from your hands.
instruments.
Okay.
You know, she uses
Okay.
instruments. And I love that about her. Like, not every musician. I don't do that. I want to learn an instrument, but
Okay.
You
I don't have
tried,
the.
though?
Yeah, I have, and I know how to do a little bit. Like, I have a guitar, I have a piano, and
Okay.
I know how to make it do what it do. And for a minute, I was playing piano by ear. For a minute, like my own music, I was playing it by ear. but I haven't really dialed into it the way that I could have. But I love that she is skilled in not only just like writing her music, rapping,
Right.
but she literally makes her music.
Yeah.
I love that about her.
Yeah. So who you said there were multiple artists. Who might they be?
Lauren.
Okay.
She's one of my top. Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
Absolutely love Stevie Wonder.
Why?
Why? His lyrical ability, and I think now I appreciate him a lot more because I feel like a lot of the music we listen to is redundant, right? And so when I listen back to Stevie Wonder, they're using instruments. I was trying to figure out why their music sounds so different and so like timeless. Is because they're playing, like they're not just using like 808s and
we don't know what that means.
Okay, 808 is like the bass. 808 is like just bass and like just claps. Like they're actually playing instruments, and it's
so it's like
refreshing
alive,
to me.
or is it like?
Yes, it's live, and I feel like he just made timeless music. Like
that's true.
He did.
It was just good. Like I just don't know who. I don't know a lot of people that can stand.
There's a lot of artists that I think draw inspiration.
Why are you looking like that?
A lot of artists?
I don't know a lot of artists that can stand next to him.
Yeah,
his catalog.
Hey, Stevie Wonder is a legend.
Please,
I get it. No, I'm not saying that.
Absolute
I'm just
legend.
saying. I mean, I can name Michael Jackson.
I was getting ready to get to. I was getting ready to. Okay, hold on.
Where you think they drew their inspiration from? Where you think they drew their inspiration from?
I don't know.
From Stevie Wonder.
I mean, I guess so.
Or a piece of it, anyway.
He has like one of the most number ones.
No,
Stevie Wonder.
I get that. I get it. I'm just saying, you said stand next to him.
Yes, and I still stand by that. I said I don't know too many. I didn't say that there were no one. I just said that there are not too many.
Yeah.
Back to my list.
Okay. He created some controversy.
Because we'll go.
Back and forth. That's good.
So Stevie Wonder, and then as I dial it in, Michael Jackson is my favorite all time.
Okay.
He's at the top of my list.
Yeah.
And visually for me, it's always been Michael Jackson and Missy Elliott. She's right after.
Oh, I think she is so underrated.
Yeah.
She is.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that woman is so talented.
Yeah.
She is so underrated. You know, another person I think is underrated, and I like him for his unique ability, is Ludacris. You know, he just steps outside the box, and he's lyrically, and he's just different. You know, and I
loved him as a kid.
Yeah. Same here. So for all of you that don't know, we got a little sibling rivalry going on here, and the musical talent runs deep. So you may have seen Caleb Gunn on TikTok, you know, singing. I was going to try to see if I could get him to sing something today. I don't know.
That would be great.
We might nudge him a couple of times, see if we can get him to sing something. But yeah, the musical talent runs deep. So that's the reason why we got this kind of sibling rivalry over here. Okay, so what comes, so now that we know the artist that inspires Teiona, okay, is there anything else that you draw inspiration from? Because I listen, that jingle that you made for us, I mean, it's phenomenal. And the fact that it's so small and so impactful, I'm telling you, I've listened to that thing 1,000 times. I hear you in the back, dropping, like the whole way you broke it all the way down.
Y'all see my face?
Don't be a hater.
I'm telling you.
Because you hit me up like, oh, it's fire. But to y'all.
Yo, and
I
listen.
always give her crap though, so don't think I'm a hater. It's just
he a hater.
The big brother in me. That's all.
And and listen, she did it in what was like 3 days or something like that. Like
it was actually it would have been way faster than that, but I allowed her. Well, not even I allowed her, but she had so much going on that she was able to put us in, you know, in her
no more than a week.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And wrote that stuff, wrote those lyrics down and stuff, and everything was just, you know, spot on or whatnot. So walk us through that process.
Yeah.
Caleb calls you, said, hey, we need a jingle. We got a jingle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is the topic. You know what I'm saying? What do you do first?
I asked them questions.
Okay.
Because I'm like, okay, what are y'all talking about? What is the name of the podcast? Do you want me to say it like this or do you want me to say it like that? Because typically when I do write for other people, I kind of have to see where their mind is. So I wanted to see where your mind was as it pertains to this platform. And so I'm like, oh, you want me to say Gemdropn? Okay. So make sure I add that in there. And so once I got to my desk, because I record from home, I got to my desk, I always start with melody first. always. And so because of that Gemdropn, I had that in my head. I'm like, okay, I gotta fit that somewhere.
Right.
But let me find the melody first, and then I'm gonna go in and add the words, and then the backgrounds. I just add color to whatever.
So why is it important for you to start with melody first?
You have to feel it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
You have to.
it's a feel with that melody first,
Yep.
and then you can kind of add the trinkets to it as it goes.
That
That's
did
exactly
tell
what it
you
is.
what it wanted to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Continue. Okay. What else goes through that process? Okay.
So it's the melody, and sometimes the idea comes after that, but I already had an idea for it.
Right.
So it was really simple for me. Honestly, it wasn't long. Yeah, I didn't need much.
Yeah.
So it was just melody, topic, put it in there,
And
Yeah.
you know,
then
it
add
was
the background.
actually faster than what we really think it is. It was probably about like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Because she texted me and was like, hey, I'm about to do it.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, it was boom.
Yep.
Wow.
I said I'll
Her
send it tonight.
mindset to actually
Wow.
just think of lyrics like that. Like, she sent me stuff all
Right.
the time.
Mhm.
And it's just like, bro.
Right.
Like, it's too easy.
Thank you, brother. God, you're giving me some.
It is. It's too easy, though. I mean, that's just being honest. It's too easy
Thank you.
with her lyrics. And if you actually listen to her lyrics, they're very powerful behind it.
Right.
So,
That's why I'm thinking, it's taking you, a couple of days to come up with these lyrics and stuff and everything.
No.
But I mean, just within an hour. But I mean, that just goes to show, man, that is natural God-given talent right
Yes,
there. And you've
absolutely.
been around it so much and just understand it so much and everything. And I mean, you could really be an asset. You know what I'm saying? Not only to yourself, but to if you're working with a major artist and stuff like that. Because I know in the industry, they're
Yeah.
looking for people who can work quickly,
Mhm.
Yes.
on the go. I mean, you hear these stories about these artists that on the fly, Tupac, he go in there in 30 minutes. Biggie, he can go in there in 30 minutes and write some lyrics and put it on tracks and stuff.
Yep.
That seems to be the formula for greatness.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
It truly is a gift that I thank God for.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize that it was a struggle for most people,
Yeah,
to be able to do it,
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah,
for me, I'm
absolutely.
like,
And pull it
"What do?"
together.
And every song is different. Every
Okay.
song is different. I'm not going to say every song is a breeze each time, but
Mhm.
for the most part, I do recognize that it is a gift.
Okay.
And that's ask her how many half songs I wrote and just quit.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, it's hard. Most
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
don't realize it's actually hard. Like,
No,
you be
it
like
is.
thinking of something in your head and you be like, dang, that's fire. Let me write that down.
Mhm.
And then it's like, what's next?
Mhm.
What do
And
they
how do
call
you
it?
put it in there?
What do they call it?
Are you
writer's
talking-
block?
Writer's block.
Bro, that stuff is real.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that also leads into another thing. It's actually a science to this. You
Mhm.
know, I
Yeah.
mean, you can't just wake up one day and say, okay, I'm going to make music or I'm going to write a song or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
It is actually a science. It breaks it down to a science. Like she said, listen, I start with the melody 1st and then I can kind of use, her gift to kind of fill everything else
Yeah.
out. So, yeah. So that's wonderful. That's beautiful. So who's a musical artist that, you've enjoyed working with the most?
So I work with a lot of people.
Mhm.
I've
Name
come
it.
across a lot of people. So one of my favorite people to work with as of right now that I have been able to work with is Kenton Jones.
Mm.
And I've always loved him. I didn't know him right off the bat, but like when I was doing secular music, I used to go to this spot called Crunk for Christ.
Mhm.
And I wasn't like doing like God music then, but it was super positive, and then they would let me through the doors to be able to perform.
Mhm.
And I would hear this music, and it was Kenton Jones, and I was like, "Yo, this is fire!" But I didn't know who he was like that because I
Yeah.
wasn't really
Yeah.
in that world.
So explain to the viewers that don't know who Kenton Jones is. Who Kenton Jones is?
Oh man, so Kenton Jones is like one of
Yeah,
those
he's huge.
one of those gospel goats that really put on for those people who are kind of like a hybrid like myself, like
Okay.
who can do both. Like he raps and he sings, but he really put on for like Christian hip hop, but also like worship music at the same time. And he's one of those artists, like where do you put them? Like people want to
Exactly.
categorize
Yeah,
you.
you can.
People
Okay.
want to put you in a box and they
Yep.
want to say, is he a rapper? Is he a singer? Like what does he do? Does he
Right.
do pop? Does he do like what is it?
Mhm.
But I think for him, like he stands in a lane of his own, and he really made a path for like people like me, artists like me, and he's still doing it even to this day. And so that's not even what really wowed me the most. Like working with people, you would think it's like their musical ability that makes you like, man, like happy to be around them, but it was really his humbleness.
Yeah,
Like he's a real humble
Down to earth.
guy. Yeah, like you would think that he was like, not at all.
Like a diva to work.
Not at all.
No. When it come to playing spades.
Yeah, he's a
invite
regular.
you to his house just so he can beat you in spades, bro. Like he's very.
I
don't play him in nothing no more.
Yeah.
Nothing.
He's that good. So not only the musical game,
good, but
I think we actually beat him though. But
who?
Yeah, me and Mama beat him in spades.
Oh, okay, good.
But no, we actually beat him in spades. But Mama went and lost to him in spades, and I think she had to do something like take off something
her wig.
She had to take off her wig at church.
That was the bet. Oh, that was the bet.
So that's like the
she had to take her wig off at church.
He'll do stuff like that.
Yeah,
like that's the type of person he is. That's what's up.
Oh, that's cool, man. So that's cool. So that was a special experience. Any other musical artists that we may know? And I think,
absolutely. Like even just through working with him, we've been able to, like in that space, we've been able to not just be up under him, but he's been creating like artists. And so I don't know if you've heard of 1K Few.
Okay.
But he's signed to Lecrae. He's been like a brother to me as well. So like we worked on some stuff and it's not out yet. But
he's huge too.
Do you wanna promo? You wanna give us some
I'll get back to y'all on a date.
Okay.
With that.
Okay. You wanna give us the name of the project at least to look for?
It's coming this year.
Okay.
Lord willing.
Gotcha.
I don't want to speak too much.
Gotcha.
But we can talk about it.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. So achievements. In the musical industry. Tell us about some of your crowning achievements.
Yeah. So the Lord has been so faithful to me. I think over the course of my long history of doing music, I was getting ready to say the years, but he has blessed me to be able to be in spaces of like VH1, BET, being on these stages with like Ty Tribbett and Isaac Curry and like people who I've always admired. Like I'm literally working with these people and I'm standing shoulder to shoulder with these people. I'm in spaces with these people and it's been great. And even like John P. Key, like I was on his, like it's crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy that I'm like singing backgrounds on a record that he's on, but that's just how God works.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and if you got talent, you know what I'm saying, people will gravitate to that and opportunities will come from that. So that's pretty cool. So I know Caleb was saying that you had the opportunity to write on a particular project that got nominated for something.
Yes, for a Stellar Award.
Okay.
So we were in Kenton's basement just trying to figure out a record to write. So I'm like, okay, we got to do Praise in the Park. Like, what are we going to do? We're going to send him an old song. We're going to do a new song. Deadline was literally that night.
That's
like,
crazy.
we had to send something either that night or that morning to promote for a show in Atlanta. And I'm pretty sure they do it in other cities too. But we have Praise in the Park. And so we like, how are we going to make it work? And it was also just that thing of like, okay, which direction are we going to go? Because we are like in a very churchy space, but also Kenton is a hybrid. You know what I'm saying? He does both. So we came up with the title, Won't He Do It?
Okay.
Old school saying, but also that real hard, like right now beat with the choir. And so, we did that. And that mug like went Billboard.
So the name of the song is called Won't He Do It?
Yeah.
Okay.
You probably heard of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Really
It was like a
Billboard
hit. It was a Billboard hit.
It's a fire song.
Yeah.
So I would say this. So, so for all the young viewers out there that are inspired by you, that are inspired to get into the music game and stuff like that, what advice would you be able to give them because in the musical community, there's a lot of gatekeepers, people want, and it's a lot of connections and networking that you have to make and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone young and inspiring that wants to get into the music game but has no idea how to do it?
Guys, listen to me. My number one thing that I would tell you before I give you any business advice would be to know who God is and know who you are before I give you any advice on where you should take your music or where you go. Because when you come into this industry, it is a bunch of people who take, and they want you for the wrong reasons. I mean, they may see your gift, and a lot of people are going to see your gift, and that's a good thing. You want them to be able to see your gift and value it, but not everybody is going to value it. And so if you don't know who you are, if you don't know who God is, then you're going to allow yourself to be taken advantage of. You're going to allow other people to validate you and kind of take your gift and use it for however they want to use it. And that is not a place that you want to be in because it will leave you very depressed. But even still, just stick to who you are. Don't follow the trends. Like, allow the trends to be something that you can tap in and out of, but don't like hop on every single one, because I think at the end of the day, if you stay true to you, you'll always be refreshing.
Okay, so be versatile.
Yeah.
Be unique.
Yeah.
Bring whatever style you have. Don't fold to the pressures to conform.
Right.
Yes.
Be you.
Be you.
Be you. Because
you.
if you don't, like she said, if you don't, you know what I'm saying, if you don't know who you are, their ability to change you and be like, okay, this person is just a clay real quick, so let me shape and mold her into what we want her to be, because she don't know who she is or he don't know who he is. And then that's where they put you in that box of, you know what I'm saying, a space that you really didn't want to be into. She was kind of scared to speak up. You didn't know who you are. So I agree. That's huge.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So first, I guess it's a two-layer question. So first, would you consider yourself a signed artist, or would you be independent? And which would you say is better to be, a signed artist or an independent artist?
So right now I'm independent.
Okay.
I love the freedom of being independent.
Okay.
I think as an artist, you should know what you want. Right now, I enjoy being independent, only because social media allows you to be able to get where you want to get without a label. But then there's also things where a label would be beneficial. It depends on what the artist wants. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If you really need that money and you really need that push and the deal is right, I'm never not going to say sign with someone. But I think it just all depends on the artist. Like, you have people now like Toby Wigway, who doesn't have a label, but he's making things pop for him and his family. But then you also have people like KB, who's in a really good deal, but that's because he knows his stuff. And he's like, I'm not going to give y'all my masters, but y'all can lease them while I'm in this contract. Y'all can lease it, and then once I leave, it's still mine.
Okay.
So it's all about just knowing what works for you. And yeah.
And I'll touch on something that she just got done saying as far as like leasing the masters. Obviously something I know nothing about, and I'm sure a lot of young artists that are out there don't even know that you can lease your masters, but that just goes to say, learn the business before you start doing business, you know, so that you're not caught off guard and taken advantage of or whatnot. Okay, well, tell me this. What is the biggest stage that you have performed on?
Okay. So I would say that it was probably BET. Once I did BET and I saw Ty Tribbett, I said, ain't no way. Like, we were literally at the BET headquarters. Granted, it wasn't the biggest space, but I think it was the biggest like exposure for myself that I had ever, like a space that I had not tapped into yet. And this was a few years back. But television-wise, I would say it was BET.
Wow.
Yeah. But we've done like shows with thousands upon thousands of people.
Wow.
And that's been more than once. But
So,
I would say television-wise.
So how was that experience? You know, did you get a chance to meet some other people behind the scenes? How was their hospitality? How did they treat you while you were there?
Oh, BET was amazing. BET was amazing. I remember being there, and the host, I think he was a co-host or he was just there, but Willie Moore Jr. was there. And he's always been like a great supporter of me. Like, he put my songs on the radio. He believed in my record when I wasn't really pulling the numbers like that, but somehow, like, he was just like, I got you, this is what you do. So I went to him and told him, okay, I got this record I believe in, what do I need to do? Told me what to do, and he put me on. So I will forever be grateful for that. That was something I really did cause like a shift in my career. But while I was there, I was talking to one of the like women who was I had no idea that was her. But when she walked away, they were like, you know who that is? I'm like, I don't know who that is. It's like, oh yeah, she's like one of the biggest deals in this company. And I said, I had no clue. They were super cool, very nice. They put me on their social media, like their Instagram and everything. They shouted me out. They tagged me. And it was just an experience that I want to experience again. And I know that I will. But also, like, once we left, I want to say it was Willie Moore Jr. He said you were all that everyone was talking about when you left.
That's fire.
All right, so I wanted to talk about one of the experiences you were talking about, and the first time you heard your song on the radio. You heard yourself on the radio. What was that like for you?
I would love to tell you that I remember, but I don't.
Okay.
I was so young.
Okay.
I was so young. I've been doing music since I was 9.
That's
and
crazy.
So
you had back up.
Yeah.
So at 9 years old is when you had music published.
Yep.
That was out.
I was co-hosting a radio show here when I was like 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I was on radio co-hosting when I was like 10.
Okay.
So I started out as a guest, and then they wanted me to come on as a co-host with these grown adults, me, at 10.
Wow.
I've been hearing my song on the radio ever since.
Okay. And so you had published music, and through that interview or that, interviewing gig that you had, they wanted your music to be played as well.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So how did that opportunity come across as far as an interview? Or to be the interviewer?
Yeah. So I think it was someone through my church at the time. I'm not sure. I was very, very, very young.
Yeah.
And my mom was managing me. And so they just wanted to come and interview me. So I did an interview with them.
Okay.
And then that turned into something else because I had a lot of personality. I still do. But when I was younger, I had that untamed type of personality that they just loved. I don't know. They loved it on radio. And radio was really big like back then. Yeah. Radio was really big. And so it just came to me co-hosting like every Saturday. That's just how it happened. I think that personality just really added something to it.
That's dope. That's dope. Well, I will say before Caleb jumps in here, so what I'm gathering is if you're a young musical artist that's inspired to get into the music game, you got to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt to, you hear about all her different opportunities, where she's going, what she's doing, and she's constantly putting her face in front of the right people. So that's what it takes, put your face in front of the right people, network, grind, make connections, and just constantly be on your hustle.
Yep, absolutely. You got to put yourself out there. You have to.
All right, you ready for
Look, he over there looking like a proud papa. Look at him over there like a proud papa.
Nah, I just got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
So, as an artist, explain to us how important is it to have a support system?
And he know about that support system. I don't know what it's like to do it alone. I literally don't know what it's like to not have a support system. So when I was 9, it was Montel Jones that saw it in me, but my mother also was the one that was like, okay, well, we're going to foot the bill. Like, I'm going to put my money behind you. And so not only did she support me in that area, but, BJ, which is our brother, he put the mic down. He was the one that I was looking up to while I was rapping.
Right.
And eventually he stopped. And he picked up the camera, and that's how we started doing my videos. You know what I mean? And then Caleb came in and he helped, and he does photos or anything that I need, really.
Right.
We just all kind of chip in. Like I said, my sister was a dancer, and she still is. And so she would help me with my dance routines. And I just don't know what it's not like. I don't know what it's not like to have a community of people that support me. Like the city has always been behind me as well. So whenever I come back here, like last time when I came here and I had my album release, everybody showed up for me. Like I am really extremely blessed in that area, and I understand that everybody doesn't have that, but I think that it's important that you do pray and ask God for those community of people that will be beside you, because you can't break alone.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
Yeah, that's
and
beautiful.
Speaking of support, who was your support? Your number one fan, your support system, who was that?
Mama.
Man.
Yep. Yeah, still is to this day. She still is to this day.
Believes in her baby.
Yeah.
So elaborate on what she did for you and how much, sacrifice we seen that she did just for your career. Because Mama done spent some.
Yeah.
She put her all. Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She put her all. So kind of elaborate on that. Let them know, you know, because of course we see Teiona, but we don't see the background to Teiona.
Yeah.
We don't see the people who stand behind Teiona. So elaborate on that.
Yeah, and I appreciate you asking that for real, because I think a lot of people do just see that. Sheesh. So once she saw that gift in me, she started making those calls. So same connections that she had through, you know, managing BJ. She was like, okay, I got a daughter now. Like, let's put her on these stages. And so, of course, that comes with like taking pictures, putting me in the studio, doing this, doing that. And as those connections kind of like grew, we met a woman, or she probably been known this woman, but I met a woman in St. Louis. And they had a group that they were forming for Disney. And so we would go back and forth from St. Louis to Kansas City every weekend, back and forth, just so that I could practice with the group. And then eventually it was like, okay, this is becoming straining, you know, and you can't miss school on Monday because you're coming in on Saturday, you know what I mean? On Sunday. And so we moved. We moved from Kansas City to St. Louis, and we stayed there for a few years. And that was a great experience. Like, we were able to travel and do stuff for Disney and for other labels. But once that didn't fall through, we figured out another game plan. Okay, we're gonna come back home for the summer. I don't know if you remember, but that's when we was like with Big Rosie for the summer.
I think so.
Yeah, it was right before we left. Yeah, it was a long time ago. Yeah, we moved back here just for the summer.
Okay.
And we had talks in Atlanta, like, oh, we think Atlanta's gonna be the spot, like, you know. And so we didn't stay here long, maybe like 2 months. And Mama was like, we gone, like, and we packed up and we moved to Atlanta. We still there to this day, but we moved because of her like belief and faith in my career. And so those are just like some small stuff. Like, we ain't gonna talk about the money that she put behind. But as far as like,
real quick, let me tell you one thing that she did. That this is how amazing she was and believed in anything you wanted to do. My mama called Steve Harvey show.
She did.
She called Steve Harvey show. She didn't care what they was talking about.
Yeah.
She said, Steve, all I want you to do is look up my daughter, Teiona Gunn. Look up TP9.
Yep.
And Steve was like, do you even know the question? Or da 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 da. She was like, I want you to look her up. Are you gonna look her up?
Yep.
Steve like, we need another call. She said, are you gonna look her? He was like, God dang it, I'm gonna look up your daughter.
I'm doing it now.
I'm doing it right now. That's how supportive she was. She didn't care what you had going on. She just wanted you to say that person's name. So as far as to be in a room with that person, or she could say, yeah, Steve Harvey looked up my daughter. That's how much she believed. And she's like that with any of her kids. She been harping on any of them. If you want to do something, I'm behind you. You know what I'm saying? That's just how she is.
That's my
but just to think about it like that, bro, like, you got somebody like that, it's huge. That's huge.
I know you. I'm gonna add on to that a little bit, man. So I used to work in the public school system for quite some time, man. And you come across these kids that don't have their parents involved, they don't have the support and this, that, and the third, or whatever. And one of the biggest things that could change those children's lives is changing their environments. Wow. The love that a parent has in order to root a child up from their environment and change their environment to save their life is impactful. You have no idea, seriously, because a lot of those kids grow up in neighborhoods and influences that just take them down destructive paths. Man, and for your mother to say, hey, you know what? It ain't looking right. We about to go here. We about to go there and invest in your future, man. That's beautiful.
It was definitely my ticket out. For sure.
Yeah, that's dope. That's beautiful.
So what I do want to ask you is, of course, we done talked about a lot of life stuff. So what are we working on now? Like, what is the new Teiona? Because we know we done transitioned from TP9 since she was 9, Teiona Power Gun, to now just Teiona Gunn. So what we working on now? Like,
so now I'm grown. I'm very grown. And so we just go by Teiona now, Teiona Gunn. TP9 is still very much a part of me. Yeah, she's still very much a part of me in my brand. But right now, the music is something that we've been locking in on like a mug. And so, Lord willing, we'll be able to push this project out to y'all this year. And so it started out as just like an EP. Like, I was really thinking I just want to put out an EP right now and then do like a 2-part EP kind of thing. But it's looking real full length. I'm going to tell you, it's looking real full length. We got some amazing features on there, like people that I
I
actually
believe it.
love. We just locked in another feature like 2 days ago.
She ain't lying. We ain't saying no names.
Yeah,
but she
we
ain't
just
lying.
locked in another one 2 days ago. And I was super ecstatic to hear, like, yo, you want to be on the record? And they like, thank you for considering me. I'm like, nah, thank you. So yeah, we locking in on the features. The features are real tough. The records are really good. And I think I'm working on more of like vulnerable body work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So that people can get to know me a lot more. Because I think people see me as somebody who's just like performing on stage, like, oh, she's a really good performer. Like she's really good.
Yeah, that was one thing that I was impressed at by looking at your videos and stuff. And everything. Nah, you got you can dance. You got the whole. And I didn't realize that you originated from dancing and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm telling y'all, if y'all hear that intro and y'all just think that's great, you can only imagine what this project's gonna be like. You can only imagine.
And let me tell y'all this, man. And I'm just being real. I give my siblings a lot of grief. I never give them props without playing and be like joking, like, yeah, I was pretty much trash or whatever. I end up saying the real. But if you actually see like the Chris Browns, the Sierras, imagine that with good music. You know, and I'm not saying their music is trash or anything. I'm just saying somebody who's inspiring instead of saying my body this, my body that. Somebody who's actually somebody your kids could really listen to. You know what I'm saying? All of them dance moves and stuff, that's her. That's her with no cussing. None of that. Like, that's her. Y'all, we really got to start honing in on good vibes and good, you know what I'm saying? That good music. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is her.
Agreed.
This is her. That Chris Brown, that routine, that Sierra, that Teiona Taylor, this is her. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's for Christ. I mean, but the music, the beat is the same. But she's elaborate on that though.
Thank you.
For sure. For sure. Elaborate on, and how can I say it, inspirational music to, you know what I'm saying? That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just so far to me that your kid can turn on YouTube and you feel comfortable with them dancing or saying lyrics that they ain't gotta shut their mouth up without. I'm a dance beat, and then they stop because it's a cuss word. Imagine that. Like, we should be promoting that of anything.
And to add on to that, brother, I mean, and give our kids a little bit more credit. They're smarter than what you think. Exactly. When they're bleeping it out, and you say, "Oh, I want you to twerk my," you know what I'm saying? We know what they know what you're talking about. You know, they can fill in the blanks. So you know, so I don't ever let anybody tell you guys that positive music does not have the same impact as the negative music does, because it's all hogwash. They don't want you to listen to anything positive. All the positive music has been ran out of the mainstream industry, in my opinion, and it's an agenda behind it, but that's a topic for another day. But yes, I could not agree more. And it is positive. It's a reason why artists like Lauryn Hill, I mean, as raunchy as Tupac was, he was all over the place. He had positive music, you know, Keep Your Head Up, Brenda's Got a Baby. I mean, he at least gave you something positive, you know. So you can't tell me that these positive artists and the music that they make does not have and does not sell as much, you know, as, you know, all the raunchy stuff that's today.
And let me tell y'all this. She ain't gonna say it. My sister is the best gospel. I don't care what kind of box you want to put her in. When it comes to stage performance, she the best at it. I don't care if you want to put her in hip hop. You can put her in whatever. If she's on that same stage, I promise you, bro, she's knocking everything down.
I agree.
Inspirational. She's knocking everything down. So any record label, anybody want to challenge that? I ain't gonna say I put my money up, because you know. But we don't do that. But at the same time, you know, a friendly bet, I'm good with that, bro. Y'all gotta actually look at her, bro, like, for real. I don't care. I go to war for behind mine.
Listen,
and it is what it is. She's the best at what she does.
And I second
for
that.
Real, though.
Hey, listen, I second that 1,000%. And one of the things I was gonna actually say before he even said that was, and this is my wholehearted, I promise you, this is my wholehearted, honest to God opinion. I actually think that you could be on the same playing field as a Sierra, as a Rihanna, any of these musical artists today. They may have the names and the industry backing them or whatever, but you are truly a hidden gem.
Thank you.
I mean that. I mean, you are very gifted and very talented at what you do. And yes, I think that you could stand on the same line with any of those musical artists out there. I believe that wholeheartedly, for sure. I'm just being honest. I'm just being true.
And she, you know what? And she already got the compliments from the same people y'all look up to. They've already acknowledged and said, this girl is fired. You know what I'm saying? It's just about, you know, just like the Missy Elliott's, you talk about the Kenton Jones, the 1K Fuse, they all know this. You know what I'm saying? It's just now we gotta push this type of music to our kids to be like, this is what we own now. This is the new wave. You know what I'm saying? And if we do that, bro, I promise you the world will become a way better place than what it is now.
Yeah, well, and we know that, brother.
Yeah, we do.
We know the world is a better place, but they not trying to make the world a better place. Let's just keep it 1,000, man. We know that positive music, because what it's doing, man, is tearing down our culture. And you know what? And I'm gonna go even further. I'm gonna thank you for your contribution to our culture, to our children that's listening to your music, that has an option to listen to something positive besides all that garbage that's out there that they're listening to now. So thank you for having the courage to provide something to our culture and to our community worth listening to. Thank you. Because there's not a whole lot of artists out there that have the courage to do that. It's all about the bag. It's all about the money. It's all about, this, that, and the third. There's no morals attached to anything now. It's by any means necessary. They don't give a doggone what they feeding your kids musically or whatever the case may be. So thank you for your contribution. Thank you.
It's my honor. Praise the Lord that I'm able to even do that. Like, I'm just super grateful to God and my community of people, because I know if I was to come to Caleb or Mama and anybody, they would, and tell them that I wanted to do something different, they would look at me like I was crazy. And so they were the ones that kept me going and pushing. And so
that's what's up. And you used to, and I'm not saying anything bad, but then you used to have some type of, not even relationship, but you guys knew each other, was a famous artist. What was it, Big Lotto?
Yeah. I grew up like performing next to her all the time. We were very, we were very like tight necked when it came to performing and stuff like that. So whenever I would do shows like Lotto, I call her Mulatto, but I have to respect that name change now. So Lotto would be there if she had a video shoot. Like, I would be there for her. She's been there for me. And my videos, like, we still got all those clips. And
that's what's up.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
a ton of artists as well that's like that now that I've like grew up with. In Atlanta.
And this is the last one most people probably didn't know. Wasn't you on some type of show with and I'm not with them, but competing against like the Jabberwockers? What show was that?
Oh, I did America's Got Talent. Yeah, I did. I did.
They don't even know, bro. Like, it's so much stuff
I did
y'all
America's
really
Got Talent.
Don't know about Teiona, bro. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And just to watch her career unfold, and we talking about it now, like, you don't even realize how far you came.
And even when you were mentioning about like those names of people, like, by the grace of God, this was a few years back, but I was on Twitter and I was at Marcus' house. I was at Marcus' house and I was on Twitter. And I don't know if my mom had just got off the phone with Sharia or Genuine, but she was talking to them. And I had got a tweet from Missy Elliott. A tweet from Missy Elliott said, "Hey, I've heard so much about you. I can't wait to meet you, XYZ. Like, as a young girl, what? I literally just told you that was one of those people that I looked up to, because her videos has always been insane. She's always been creative, always been innovative. So to kind of get a nod from someone like her in the industry was
the GOATs.
Insane.
You ain't even mention goddamn.
And still follows me to this day.
Man, Genuine. You ain't mentioned like. God,
I be forgetting.
Bro.
I forget.
It's just so many people.
Yeah.
That, and this is Kansas City owned.
Yes.
Kansas City, Missouri owned.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's huge about it. Like, man, it's somebody from your home state. Like, that's dope to me.
That is dope.
So in this segment, we finna go red. We finna just ask a couple of red questions. So let's get it. Yo, so this is the segment of us going red. This is where we ask kind of a tough question to Teiona, and we're going to kind of see what her answer is. So my question, and then I'm going to flip it over to Delon, would be, out of all of your years doing music, who was one person that you strived to really be, or was the competition that haven't made it? But who was the person where you was like, all right, that person's gonna make me go harder? That was probably local, or that was on TV screen?
They said that this is gonna make me go harder?
Yeah. Like, it don't matter if you was from 9 to the age you at now, to where y'all kind of knew it was like, okay, I need to go harder because this person came hard, I'm about to go harder. Just as in careers, not even as, who was that?
It's a few artists, and I think it's not even just like rappers, but I think it was really just seeing people that I grew up with have that level of like fame. It was multiple people. It was dancers, it was rappers, it was singers, where I'm like, I know if y'all can do it and y'all can, like, I'm going to have to go 10 times as harder. But I think that's just the world that I live in. Like, because I do Christian music, like, I'm always going to have to step harder 10 times. I'm going to have to work 10 times harder than the average person. And so naturally, when I see anybody that doesn't do what I do and they get in there, I'm like, I'm going to just have to work harder. Right. It's not because I feel like I'm any competition to them.
Okay, so what was a friendly competition? Like, who was hard? And I'm not saying like, oh, this person is not good at all, but I'm just saying like a friendly competition to where it's like, oh yeah, I see you.
Oh,
and that person to say, I see you too.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Oh, okay. So there is this woman. Her name is Imani Von Shea. I've been on her for years, and she was the first person that I've ever really felt like I had a friendly competition with, because for the most part, like growing up, like you hear that women kind of like go against each other because there can only be one, like one queen. But nah, she was on her stuff, and like so was I. Yeah. She was on her stuff. And so was I. And so even now to this day, like I think she doesn't really, I don't know if she's still in that world now, but it's always been kind of like a, you know? Yeah.
All right, we'll turn it over to you, Delon.
Okay, am I asking the question or am I answering the question?
So you asking the question.
Okay. So what would you say is a musical flaw that you would want to work on, or a musical weakness that you'd be like, okay, you know what? If I was a little bit stronger here in this area, it would make me a better overall artist.
Right now, I think I'm conquering that, which is working with other people.
Okay.
Working with other people. I think for the majority of my writing, I've always like written all of my music, which is, I want to do that. But for the most part, I think I'm like, man, I think I want to write for other people.
Yeah.
I really do. I've learned that sometimes, like when I'm listening to music or if I'm recording the music and it's not sounding right to me, but in my head it's much better, I know it's because maybe somebody else needs to sing it.
Can deliver it. Okay.
Yeah, so writing for other people.
Okay, and what was the challenge to that? Why was it difficult to start writing for other people? Is it something you just wanted to kind of keep your talent in-house or something, or what was that?
Yeah. You know, I think it was a lot of things. You hear a lot of people say, oh, I want to work, let's do this, let's do that, and then they don't. And I'm like, and then they see you again and be like, what's going on? I'm like, what you mean what's going on? I'm still, you know. So I think it was just a hard time just teaming up with people, finding somebody that really want to be teammates, and then looking for people that want to be humble enough to let you like write for them. You know what I mean? And typically me, I don't have anyone writing for me, so whenever I'm writing, it's always just been for me. But once I started writing for like Canton, or we have a younger group, like my nephews and my brother, our brother, they had a group, and starting out, like I was writing for them. And I'm like, I find that this is much easier to write for other people. And it kind of allows me to be a little bit more vulnerable too, because they have to say it. So, but yeah, I think a musical flaw for me is working with other people, because I feel like my records could be stronger.
So what's, and as far as wrapping this thing up, what's one thing that you want to tell the world as far as inspirational? It can be something about you also that you're promoting, and then so tell them one quote or something like that.
I want to tell y'all that if you're broken, it's okay. We all are. We all really got a lot of issues and a lot of baggage, and I don't think that anybody should be shamed for having that, because we literally live in a sinful world where people make sinful decisions, or you either make the decisions or you're affected by those decisions. And I think if we can own that, and if we can go to Christ and say, hey, I'm broken, I need you to fix me, there's no shame in that. And I think healing, that's where it starts, is literally owning whatever you have going on. I have things that I have to own, whether I've done it directly or things have been done to me. But I think I've been into a lot of shame because of it, but there should be no reason that I'm ashamed of it. Okay. We just got to own it.
So, last thing, can you give us a couple of bars before you
Ooh, okay. So I did this record earlier this year, and it's called Little Brown Girl, and I'm hoping that it makes the album cut because I really like this record, but we'll see if it makes it. But this verse means a lot to me. Okay. Y'all ready? Yeah. I used to say that when I was, y'all ready? All right. Life can be so heavy, but what I carry is Bible. Take the hit and watch it click, cause how I move is vital. Done with dancing with my sorrows, this ain't no recital. Way I'm killing my flesh, you would think I'm suicidal. I only talk from places I know. Cornerstone, but keep them at the sin, there ain't no side note. Busy with the mission, can't get trippy by no say so. Long you say I'm good, my eyes look green and then my feet go. Yeah, can't believe that it's me. Came along and saved Lil OT. Wasn't that he ever saw the best in me, but he loved me, gave me his best for free. And I know that he know that she know he's good. Yeah, so we praise like we should. I know that he know and she know he's good. Yeah, and we know that he could save a little brown girl from the city.
Hey, hey, that's gonna take off, bro. That's gonna take off, Little Brown
Gifted,
Girl. Real quick, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Gifted.
What does Little Brown Girl? Because just to think of a Little Brown Girl, of course, y'all feel like you're talking about yourself or a Little Brown Girl. Elaborate 30 seconds on that.
Little Brown Girl is me, but I feel like she's a representation of all the little brown girls who maybe have endured a lot of hardship, who didn't have it easy, who may be those girls who feel broken or ashamed of what they've been through or their past. But it's like, nah, like God can take the worst of worst and make the best of best. And so even if he can take this little brown girl from the city, he can take you too.
Mm-hmm. So I'll let DeLine close it, because y'all already know this is my sister. We appreciate you, man, and one of the reasons why I let my boy DeLine take the pretty much the bulk of the questions, because this dude is really a fan. He's a real life fan.
Appreciate you.
So he was like, hey bro, I already got some questions. I got my board ready. He's a fan. So that's huge to even know that, you know, this is like my brother, and this should be like your brother also.
It is.
We family, so I'll let him close it out. And anything you want to say?
Man, the only thing I wanted to say is, from the inspiration from this particular podcast, man, is just be you. You know, be authentic. Don't be afraid. Don't feel pressure to conform to the pressures of society, because you are enough. Whether you're a little brown boy or girl, or, you know, Caucasian boy or girl, whatever you are enough. And we really and truly had a gem on the Gemdropn podcast today, and it was an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you.
Thank y'all for having me. Seriously, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we appreciate it, man, and we out.
I be dropping Gemdropn, I speak the truth when I step in the room.